As an aside, I just want to say, give a public service announcement. I don't know why I'm like this, but do you know what? I don't date guys with hair, you know, like long hair. It's not for me.
What about locks?
Locks is different, but guys who've got cañérows, you've got cañérows in your 30s? Nah.
Nobody's got cañérows these days anyway.
That's not true. There are plenty of men in Kilburn and Northwest London who have cañérows in their 30s.
I haven't really seen any men in down here that have cañérows.
I saw one in the gym when we were allowed to go to the gym. I'm like, nah, you're a big man, you know.
Cañérows in 2020. I don't know, man. I don't know about it.
You're a big man out here. You need to stop that.
No, but your issue isn't hair. Your issue is cañérows.
Yes, my issue is cañérows.
But you also can't have hair out here.
That's too much.
On the street. You can tell by the way I want. I can't do it. I can't.
There's a guy in my office, actually, he's got hair like that. He's too much. Do you know what? I don't massively get on with him anyway. He frustrates me for a number of different reasons. He doesn't know how to have appropriate conversations with people when he's married, so that's why I don't really like him. However, he will get in the lift and he will go to whatever floor he's on. I will get in the lift after him, like maybe half an hour after, and I'm just like, I can smell stay so fro. Like, why can I smell? Why can I smell pink lotion? Like, I can smell this in the lift. And his hair is like, it's so big and it's very moisturized all the time, and I can just smell it wherever. I'm just like, my goodness.
Wow. But there's some girls that like that.
Yeah, I guess.
That's not being them, but you know.
This don't touch my hair thing doesn't apply to guys. Clearly not. Because when I had my hair when I at uni, I remember I was in the library and I had my hair out. It was massive, and I was sitting in the library, and then 3 or 4 girls were playing with my hair that I didn't speak to. They were just playing with it.
Caucasian?
No, they're black.
Oh.
It felt like this. Not a white person.
They were trying to get to know you. As Angela sings, I want to get to know you.
Woo! I really want to. And that's what I'm going to leave it there. Because otherwise I'm very inappropriate.
Huh? Black girls playing your hair. That's like, can I talk to you? What's your name and your number? Come on.
It was actually just irritating though. So.
Did you tell them, or were you not talking that day?
That day. At that moment, I wasn't talking. It was just the last day that I was cutting it all off anyway. I was cutting it off that day. So
why did you cut your hair?
Why did I?
Cut it. Cut
it? Because it was time. The question is, why did I grow it?
Why did you grow it?
I grew it for a bet. Me and my boy said, I bet I can go long without going to the barbers than you. And so we just kept growing our hair.
Were you growing your beard too?
When I was 19. No.
I don't know about beards and when they grow.
You know what? I don't get it. How do you start growing a beard? And what age does it come in? And then what happens
for everyone.
If it won't connect? Like, I don't get it.
It's different for everyone. It depends on your genes, obviously. I mean, I had hair under here from when I was maybe 17, but it didn't grow much. It didn't connect.
You're touching your Adam's apple?
Yeah, underneath. Yeah.
Okay.
It really grew from underneath and then up. But then it didn't connect down here until I was maybe 20, 21, but it was very light then. But I think my beard probably started growing when I was maybe 20, 21. I had like a very thin strip when I was 19, a very, very thin strip. But there was people at my school that had a beard when they were in year 8, so it just depends.
Mad.
If you eat chicken, for women, you'll grow hair under here. And I know that to be true. We've heard it from a number of different sources. And Jamaicans also say if you take chicken pills, you'll grow a bottom, but they don't like to take it because you're taking chicken pills and you're growing a bottom, but you're also growing a beard.
I've got a superstition that actually, but it's a superstition that if girls do this, they will never grow armpit hair or like hair on their legs. No, armpit hair particularly.
Just skip puberty. Okay.
Armpit. No, but then some people are not that hairy naturally anyway, so that's not about puberty. And to be honest, when they look at girls in puberty, they're not really looking for armpit hair all the time. That's not the telltale sign of puberty. But I guess
it's not telltale.
But it's when you said about if you eat chicken that you won't grow. If you eat chicken, you grow hair. Grow hair is a beard.
Yeah,
Fabrice.
carrying a chin for a woman.
We need to find another word for the other category, because to me, that's what I encounter more of. Like, okay, so putting your bag on the ground, is that a superstition? Putting back saying that you will not, like, you lose money or you won't ever be rich.
If there's a supernatural connection between them, things are actually not really connected, then yes, it's superstition. So putting your bag on the floor doesn't mean you're not gonna, make money.
Yeah.
So that's a superstition.
You do that one, Fabrice, but it's more just because it's just not nice to put bags on the ground.
My grandma taught me that. And also when I went to Jamaica when I was 17, I remember I went in and me and my friend went to Jamaica for my auntie's wedding. And we sat down in church and we went to put our bags on the floor, and they said, typish English girls. And I said, so what? They were like, only English girls put their bag on the floor. And I said, oh. So like I was just going to do it because sometimes I put my bag on the floor at church because there's not enough space. But in general, I don't like putting my bags on the floor at all. I hate it. I also hate putting shopping bags on the floor. Like when you come in the house and you put your shopping food on the floor, I hate that stuff. I just think it's grim.
It's weird because I've actually been at people's house and they say don't put the shopping bag on the counter because it's probably been, you've had to put it down to open the door, you've had to put it down maybe when you're, so like don't put it on the counter, put the bag on the floor, unpack and then put the bag away, but don't put the bag straight onto the counter. But I don't know, it's weird. Like in our house, maybe because we had loads of shopping, we always had to put the shopping on the floor because there's not even enough counter space to put everything on tables. But I don't know.
Sounds like a cleanliness thing to me.
That's what I think a lot of superstition is. I mean, I'm here scratching my head.
Cleanliness.
I think
Most
so.
superstition.
I think so, but like I think superstition is based off nonsense. I mean, I don't know if this is superstition, but my mum said that if you wear you shouldn't wear anklets because only prostitutes wear anklets.
Friend, my dad to this day.
Where's that from?
And it's not only prostitutes, but it also shows a level of being in bondage. Like it's like you're shackled up. That's what my dad says as well. That applies to that applies to, but it's not restricted to red nail varnish, red lipstick.
Yes.
That's all prostitute stuff. And red nail varnish, red lipstick. God forbid anyone wore waist beads.
Waist beads? Why?
That's prostitution too in his books. Yeah, waist beads, anything.
I have never ever had my nails painted red. Never ever. Never
really?
ever. Yeah, because in the back of my mind, I just think people are going to look at me and think, should I have no brought up, see? Honestly, it's a madness, but I'll wear red lipstick whenever, but red nail varnish from when I was young was a no-no. They were like, nope, no red nail polish.
That's super SDA, that is.
Well, I think it's super churchy because I have a few other church friends who are like Kojic or like Bethel Church, and they don't make
Actually, we found out there's a lot of links between these SDA and Kojic. Their behaviour is very similar. Thanks to the clock system.
My mum wasn't allowed to wear trousers when she was growing up. My mum said she only wore jeans after she had me, and she had me when she was 21.
Did your mum grow up SDA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're much more conservative than we are in Jamaica.
I mean, they're still conservative now, I guess, but
yeah, no, they're more conservative than us in England, in Jamaica now. When I went to Jamaica church, it was like I went to a time warp, man. It's like I went back to the early 90s.
That's so funny. When I go to the English-speaking churches in Rwanda, the choirs the women in the choir are wearing red lipstick. All their nails are painted. All the females' nails are painted. It might not only be red, but it'll be painted. They're very like done up. So I think it's weird, and like they'll wear trousers. They'll wear like our traditional wears, like very thin spaghetti strap tops. So your arms are not covered at all. In fact, you're probably seeing a lot of cleavage, and they really go to church like that, and it's all. I think it's just culturally they're just a bit more relaxed in that way. But yeah,
it's healthy.
Because I'm pretty sure the African culture and SDA church doesn't really mix as well as you would probably hope it would. All the cultural stuff, you can't just drop it into church like that, can you?
No. What do you mean? So are you talking about on a large scale? Are you talking about in like cultural stuff? Like just explain what you're asking. So I thought you were talking about in a general sense.
General sense, yeah.
In terms of like African culture,
yeah.
being compatible with church SDAism. It can't be, because I think that with religion, especially organized religion, there's always a mixture of what's in the Bible and then also people and their culture and what they bring to it, and there's always a fusion of both. And because it started in America, where with white people, that like the vacancy for like the culture part had already been taken up. So by the time you bring it to Africa, wherever country you bring it, that space where culture can influence the way you worship has already been taken up by a white culture or Western culture, and that Western culture, it's not necessarily that the religion is not compatible. In some aspects, in a lot of aspects, it's not, especially with the spirituality of it, like ancestral stuff, yeah. But in other ways, like things that don't really matter, you can't. It's not compatible, because white culture or Western culture and African culture, or even like what would be the opposite of Western? All the other nations that are not Western, non-Western culture. Because I was gonna say Eastern, that's not it.
No.
I was gonna say Southern, that's not it.
Nope.
So Western or non-Western, they clash. It's no compatibility there.
But do you feel like that's an issue though? Because most of the things that we've gotten used to are simply because the religion that we follow now started in America with white folks.
I think it's for you,
and in the 1800s as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's for us as intelligent people to like decipher what is biblical and what's not biblical. And I think that to assume that all cultural elements of like non-Western culture, or even me being specific African, or let's even be more specific, Rwandan, like spirituality or whatever they were doing before Christianity came, to assume that all of that can be compatible with being a Christian, or the reason why we can't do that is because of the West, is I feel like it's wrong. Like there's some things that are completely against what is in the Bible, and it's come to bring deliverance. Like Jesus came to bring deliverance from all of that bondage anyway. So if he had come in, let's say Jesus had been born in Rwanda, he would have come to bring deliverance from that kind of nonsense, but maybe not all aspects that the white people feel like they need to offer deliverance from. So maybe music, friend, I don't understand why you think that a riveting classical version of How Great Thou Art is closer to Jesus than something with a beat, something with syncopation. To me personally, I haven't got to that part of the Bible where it says it's not.
Got to that part. I don't think you'll find it.
I mean, I haven't got to all parts of it, so I can't say that, but I haven't got there.
I think it's a good question, because I think like what you said, Angela, so much of Western religions perhaps have been shaped by like the West, obviously, but also shaped by colonialism and also shaped by missionaries. And if like I did history, but I don't really remember, I'm almost sure it would have been a certain, like it would have been like Quakers or very conservative Christians taking this message out. And so they're already addressing the message of redemption and salvation and like the Bible with their own very conservative view, and so they've got a very conservative skew on it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like you said, if Jesus was born in Rwanda or if Jesus came from Jamaica, I don't want to hear anybody tell me nothing about reggae music and the reggae hymns. Do you know what I mean? Because it would have been shaped so differently. But you said that people have to just think about it. But actually, I think a lot of people don't think about it. They just accept it. The same way that I accepted that a Muslim woman is an abomination to the Lord. And I never even said, where is that found? Or why is a Muslim woman indicated in the Bible? Please. I never questioned it. People don't question a lot of things about any organized religion. And so therefore you're kind of stuck in this weird place of, well, my culture does this, but my church says something different.